Oye mi guaguaco, oye mi guaguaco, báilalo con sabor, con sabor, con sabor. Oye mi guaguaco.
Griselle, you have contributed a lot to today's dancing. 50 years from now, my grandchild comes to me. I want to dance salsa. Hijo, yo recuerdo a una muchacha que se llama Griselle y la contribución de ella fue algo magnífica. Debes estudiar a lo que ella hizo. Y entonces ella me dice, chucha madre, ¿quién? Eso es del pasado, olvida de eso, ese es tiempo de ahora. How would you feel if you were standing there?
If I was, wow, yeah. Sincerely, when I dance, it's not a business. It's because it's what I love. So it would really hurt me to hear that, because working with kids now, I actually pinpoint, old school, let's say today, and so it would be, it's sad, but the truth is that it's probably what's gonna happen. If I were in that era, I'm sure I would probably be selfish and say, you know what, you have no idea what you're doing.
So Amanda, if you, 50 years from now, after you've contributed and you've made a great contribution to Latin music and dance, 50 years from now, if I tell my grandchildren, I remember Amanda Estilo, she was such an awesome dancer, she was a performer, she created, she styled, she did everything. And then my 20-year-old daughter says, who? Oh, who cares what she did? That's back then. These are different times now. How would you feel about that?
That's, it's true, it's very wrong. Because what we are now is because those people back in the day, they built that up for us. So we really gotta appreciate those people that really worked, that brought this rhythm to us. I have the honor of dancing on stage with Julissa Cruz and Tito Puente, and for me, it's, they gone, but they're still here on my heart. And those are the people that we really mean to be with us, on our feet, on our soul, on our body, on our movement. So don't forget about me or them. Let's just move on and remember what we left behind.
That's a lot to take in. What can I say? I understand what being nostalgic can be. And I think that that's what happens with a lot of the musicians from that era. I can agree in many ways. I know that many dancers will go their career without ever feeling that nowadays because it's almost non-existent.
You have now this total disconnect where salsa has become the format, the descarga format that you hear on records over and over and over and over and over again on a Latin record of today, whereas a Latin record in the 60s was salsa, but it was chock full of different rhythms.
Earl, as a dancer, do you feel that you have knowledge and do you know the rhythms of Latin music as dancers of the Palladium era did?
I'm going to be pretty straight with you, Josue. For what I know, I consider myself to be an instructor. I have no clue. I have none whatsoever the Latin rhythms of what they were doing back then. I don't know. I don't know the difference between a guajiro, a guaguancó, or son. I've just heard it. I don't have a clue, unfortunately. And unfortunately, most of these teachers out here now are teaching, they don't have a clue either. So unfortunately, their students don't have a clue. So everybody's walking around, dancing, teaching, who don't have a clue.
If you heard a mambo, if you heard a son montuno or a danzón or a guaguancó, would you know these rhythms? And if you don't, do you think there's any importance in knowing what they are?
Guaguancó, and what's the other one?
Danzón, Guajira,
Danzón, never in my life. Never. First time I hear danzón.
Son Montuno.
Yes, son montuno. No, never.
A lot of times I assume it's a particular style.
When you say style, do you mean rhythm?
Rhythm, yes, of the difference of the rhythm. I'm proud to say that I'm a student.
I definitely wasn't open-minded. I definitely wasn't educated about the rhythms of dance and knowing and definitely understanding the difference between mambo, son, danzón, son montuno, guaguancó, guajira son. I definitely have a better appreciation for music now that I did not have, which I did fall into that category of ignorance before the Epoca, the Palladium era. So.
Y es importante que el baile de ahora, como es la diferencia, es importante saber cosa musical, hay que saberlo interpretar. Nosotros como bailarines interpretamos lo que hace la música y debemos de hacerlo mucho mejor y con más razón si lo sabemos un poco más. La interpretación realmente muy pobre realmente. Muchos lo saben pero son muy pocos. Para tener idea más de lo que puedan hacer en cuanto a su baile, es muy recomendable realmente que sepan un poquito de música, la cual muchos no lo hacen porque solamente lo hacen por divertir. Baile es una diversión. Entonces eso hace que solamente se convierta en una diversión, pero no busquen más de eso.
As a dancer of both on 1 and on 2, I still have an endless amount of things to learn, whether it's music or movement. And if you're a dancer, whether you be on 1 or on 2, I do believe that there is so much more information that you can seek out. You know, knowledge is movement. And if you don't seek out the knowledge of what the music is and gain the relationship back with the dancer and the music, then you will be cutting yourself short on movement.